Hey everybody, it's me, Angela Walters. Welcome to this week's live chat. I hope that wherever you are watching this, that you've had a great week and the weather is beautiful and your bobbins are always full. I'm super excited to talk to you today about the newest Free-motion Challenge Quilting Along. If this is your first live chat with me, this is not the norm. Normally I talk about something quilting related. I answer your questions and we just have a great old time. But about twice a year, we launch what is called the Free-motion Challenge Quilting Along. It's a free video series where we work together through a quilting technique or design. And it was funny because every time we finish one, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the next one comes around and it's so fun to think about what it is I want to talk about. So in today's live chat, I'm going to kind of give you all the details about that upcoming video series, the dates, all the things we're going to learn, all the fun stuff. And I'm looking forward to sharing that. Plus, if you're watching live, I'll answer your questions. So as always, Jessica's behind the camera. She's going to write down your questions and give them to me. Also, we're going to pick a winner from today's live chat. Only for those that are watching it live. So if you're watching it live, leave a comment and one lucky winner is going to win this stack of fat quarters. 20 beautiful fat quarters in fabric that you can't get yet. It's pre-order still. So leave a comment on there and whoever's the nicest to Jessica, I'm sure that's who she'll pick. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get to the new challenge. So this is like, I don't know, we've done a lot of video series over the years. Sometimes we'll deal with a particular technique like swirls, and sometimes we'll do something like this, help, how do I quilt it? This is one of my favorite things to teach because no matter how long you've been quilting, you're still going to get that quilter's amnesia. That thing that happens when you finish your quilt top and you forget every quilting design you've ever learned. Well, not really, but ideally, like the main idea is that it's hard to pick out designs for your quilt tops. I've been machine quilting for over 20 years and I still get those quilts that I'm like, I don't know what to do. So throughout this video series, we're going to learn some designs for particular blocks that you can apply in other ways. And so not only will you hopefully learn some new designs, but you'll also build your machine quilting design toolbox, kind of your library of go-to designs, so that maybe in the future, if you get stuck on a block, you can reference them and come back to it. So super excited. So let's talk about the blocks we've done. If you've been around my live chats or my free motion challenges before, you're probably recognizing this as a second Help, How Do I Quilt It challenge. We did one, I think it was in 2019, Help, How Do I Quilt It, where we did 9 patch blocks, triangles, and some other shapes, stars. So when I came to do this one, I wanted to pick differently shaped blocks that are still commonly used throughout quilting. And so the blocks we're going to be talking about are snowball blocks. And what I love about those is the designs we're going to learn there can be applied to circle blocks and even square blocks, log cabin blocks. I can't tell you how many times in live chat, one of the questions have been, how would you quilt a log cabin block? So can't wait to do that. Chevrons and then curved blocks. So those are going to be the ones that we're going to learn. Now, even if you're watching and you're like, I'm never going to make a block like that, just know that these designs can be used in a lot of different ways. They're very, very versatile. So the first week is going to be the chevron blocks, where we're working through those kind of chevron shapes. I'm going to talk about how do you take into design consideration for the size, the fabric placement. And with all of my video series, when I'm picking out the designs that I'm going to teach, I know that there's a lot of you watching, a lot of different skill levels, a lot of different preferences. So I try to have an easier option and then maybe an option that takes a little bit longer to come together. So even if you're watching this and you're like, I'm a brand new quilter, I can't do it, you absolutely can. There's going to be stuff for everybody there. So snowball blocks, we're going to see those. Here's some sneak peeks of some of the designs that we'll be talking through. Then we're going to do log cabin. Log cabin blocks are actually going to be 2 videos. I'm going to break that up into 2 separate videos, do part 1 and part 2, because log cabin blocks are so versatile and they come in so many different variations and sizes and not patterns, but layouts. So I'm going to kind of break it into two videos. So we're going to really hit the log cabin blocks pretty hard. And then curved blocks. So the 5 video series, we're going to hit all of those. Now curved blocks, again, might be something you're like, I don't do a lot of curves, but these designs will be ones you can use in a lot of different ways. And you never know. Those curved blocks are a lot of fun to work with. Now, the videos are going to start July 9th. So on July 9th, and then every week video will come out, and I'll talk about at the end how you can participate in it. These videos are always free to watch. They always stay on my YouTube channel. So even if you can't quilt along with me live while they're going on, because I know it, we're busy, life happens. Those videos will be available for you to look at any time. So don't feel stressed about that. But if you want to quilt along with me kind of in real time and participate in the live chats about that, you're definitely welcome to. So the free videos, of course, are on my YouTube channel and my website, but I do make exclusive products that you aren't required to have, but they do make the quilting experience a little bit better. So these products are all available for pre-order. Just want to kind of stress that. We're cutting and we're getting ready to ship. We're getting all that stuff together, but it's probably not going to ship till about mid-June. So just keep that in mind. Pre-order just allows us to know what we're working with. So the first product is the quilt panel. This is something I've been doing for the last 10 challenges. Getting to design a fabric quilt panel exclusively for the class is so much fun. It allows me to kind of think through, how do I want to teach this? What do I need to teach it? And it allows you to quilt along with me without the stress of piecing a quilt. I know that sometimes when we're like, all right, we're going to learn machine quilting, this is going to be great, but I don't want to mess up my quilt top. I hear that all the time. So this, you can buy the panel, jump right into the quilting, and get something that is similar to the experience of quilting a block or actual quilt. So before I go live, I get on type chat about half an hour before, and people were very impressed with the amount of purple in this panel. I'm very well known for my dislike of purple, but I have to say it's growing on me. And for the panel, I wanted some really saturated colors, that dark plum, the pink, and the purple, and the blue. And so it has all the blocks that we're going to be working with, but this time it's like the opposite of the first Help How Do I Quilt It challenge. That panel, I designed the blocks so that they were colored fabrics. And this one, the blocks themselves are the background color, that light gray, and the rest of the quilt is shining. So a little bit different. I like to try to change it up and keep it interesting. So this is the fabric panel that is available. One thing I started doing, a few challenges ago, is making it available in 2 sizes. Like, you need more decisions, right? Like, oh, I don't want to have to decide. I know that some of us, especially newer quilters, want to start on a smaller project. Maybe you have a small throated machine. Maybe you don't want to commit to a bigger quilt. And the smaller option is going to be perfect. It's 42 by 54, and it's the perfect size for getting the experience of working through a quilt without the huge quilt. But for those of you that are like, give me the challenge, I want something bigger, or maybe you're doing it on your long arm, then there is the bigger option, the 58 by 69. Same lovely layout, just a little bit bigger. You know, if you want a quilt to like cuddle up underneath. So 2 sizes available there. And for a limited time, we usually kind of do this during the pre-order phase. If you buy the large panel, you can get the small panel half off. So you can have one of each. One to give away and one to snuggle under. The promo code is BOGO, BOGO half. Now you can click the link in the description box below, and that will take you to all of this. And of course, if you have any questions, you can let us know. But if that's just a little little option for you. And I feel like an infomercial salesperson by this point. But wait, there's more. You order the panels, you get free knives. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody gets free knives. But we do have a free pin with panel purchase while supplies last. So I don't know, it's been like 4 or 5 challenges ago. I got this idea that I would make a pin for each challenge so that if you bought the panel, you can collect the pins. Kind of like your little flair, or your just to kind of your badges for finishing those projects, or at least purchasing them. Nobody's checking to see if you finish it. So anyway, the pin, I think I ordered 1,000 of them, and the first 1,000 we'll get a pin with that. So if you needed a little bit of a push into it, that might just seal you over the top. All right, with the panels, there's optional add-ons. So we have the backing kit. So if you want the fabric for the backing and the binding, and this is the fabric that's going to be that backing. It's such a pretty multicolored fabric. I really love it, and just a little bit of that teal and purple. So look at that. I'm totally reformed as a purple disliker. And then we also have optional borders. So if you decide to buy the panel, when you go into that product, you'll have the option to add these add-ons. And I know that quilters love borders. Now I was on the Inappropriate Quilters podcast, and we had a whole big discussion about borders. I personally don't like sewing them. I don't like, I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite, but I know that a lot of quilters like it. So I put together a optional border panel if you want to add some borders to either one of your panels, the little one or the big one. And I have to tell you, I love these borders probably a little bit more than even the panel. I'm so happy with how they turned out. So we do have border panels for the small one and the big one, and here they are a little up closer. So if you just want your quilt to be a little bit bigger, have a framing effect, or if you're like, I want to do some sewing so I feel like I did something, then you can add on those border panels. Like I said, we have them for both sizes, and if you get the backing kit, it will work for the panel with or without borders. So I got some close-up pictures of the border panel themselves. So each of those little like kind of paisley shapes is a little print that is from a fabric collection, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit. So it was just kind of fun to work with more prints in this challenge. Normally I kind of stick to solid-ish kind of fabric so that you can really like see the quilting. But since I kind of switched the block and the background, it was kind of fun to design a fabric collection around it. So anyway, and I think I have one more closer up here. So it's like you get the look of doing applique without actually doing applique. You are welcome. I will be doing a little like, how to quilt the borders. It won't be its own standalone video because honestly, it's just going to be like echo it because there's, it's so pretty, I have to do much, but there will be a little something about that. So if you get it and you're like, I don't know how to quilt it, don't worry, we'll work you through that. All right, and coordinating threads. Probably my most favorite part about pulling all this together is picking the threads. I get the thread card out, I audition them, Jessica and I look them over, we kind of like, oh, I don't know. So these are the threads that coordinate with the panel. The one thing I don't love is it's really hard to get a great picture of that pretty plumish purple. It's pomegranate, it's such a pretty thread color, but it's so much prettier than it is in pictures, I promise. I know that sounds weird to say, but it totally is. But these are the colors we'll be using. So if you want to get the coordinating thread collection, you can. If you're like, I have plenty of threads, great. If you're like, I don't like the colors, just don't tell me, but you don't have to order them. So you can add that on as well. So when you're in the panel product, checking out, it'll give you the option to add those things on there. And if you buy them with the panel, you get them at a discount. So kind of fun there. Again, that's pre-order. They're due to ship mid-June. That is kind of a very, it could be sooner than that. That's kind of our just gives a little cushion. And then the videos will start, like I said, July 9th. So very excited about that. When the videos are going, I'll talk about participation here in a second, actually. So since I already designed all these prints to go on the panel, I made it as a part of a fabric collection. So if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not a machine quilter, well, there's some pretty fabric that you can look at. So the fabrics or the prints that I used in the panel and on the borders, I just put them into a collection and called them Adorn. So that's the pretty fat quarter bundle that one person's going to get to win. So this collection is super inspired by machine quilting, not literal, like not just, oh, here's quilted pebbles and here's quilted paisleys, but just with that, I don't know, that kind of inspiration. I always hear it's best to stick with what you know, and we know I love machine quilting, and that's what I know, so that's what I'm going to go with. So we will have this available as well. It is pre-order as well, and there's yardage available on the website, so you can check that out if you want. I took the 20 prints, which there's 20 different fabrics in this collection, which is kind of overkill, and that I even had to take some out. Like I just had so much fun getting all the colors. So I broke it up into 2 different sections, the cool fat quarter bundle and a warm fat quarter bundle, sorry. And so, if you want just one or the other or both. So I'm kind of give you a picture of, or an up close shot of some of these prints. So the cool bundle, of course, has the purple and the blue and a little bit of that green. And it's kind of a fun, darker kind of option there. I love the prints, all of them, but some of my favorite is that one that kind of looks like a swirl chain. So I don't know, fabrics are kind of like kids if you're not supposed to have favorites, but I kind of do. So there's that. But again, a lot of fun. That purple one is pretty cool too. It's like a swirl chain, but arranged kind of in a motif. Really, really pretty. Although I guess I'm biased. Of course, I think it's pretty. I wouldn't put it together if I didn't think it was pretty. And then we have the warm colorway. So the pinks and the reds and the gold. And gold is not a color that I have used a lot in the past, but I am really digging it. So maybe I'm in my gold era. And just like the threads, it's just really hard to get a great photo of that gold fabric. It really is not so like, I don't know, that kind of looks greenish. It's not so green, it's more gold. But anyway, this is like I'm showing you pictures of my cute kids playing soccer, and there's my kid playing soccer, and there's my kid doing that. But here you can kind of see some of those prints. So again, inspired by machine quilting, we'll probably maybe work this into a quilt kit at some point, maybe Midnight Quilter if I ever get my act together. But definitely an option there for you as well. So I know that's a lot to go over. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. So let's talk about what the actual challenge will look like. So first of all, with every Free-motion Challenge video series, I put together free quilting diagrams for you for every video. I love teaching quilting, and I want you to be able to be successful with the things I'm teaching. And so for me, I like videos, but I love having paper next to me. So the free quilting diagrams will just have the diagrams of the designs that we're learning within that video. And if you're quilting along with me on the panel, I'll give you suggestions on where to place your designs. Of course, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to follow it. One thing that's going to be different about this challenge as opposed to previous challenges is I'm not going to have any expanded resource PDFs available for this challenge. The fact of the matter is they just take a long time to put together, and it's a busy season right now. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it a little easier on myself and just do the regular. But still, the quilting diagrams, the free ones, are still like 4 pages long. So you still get a lot of resources there. All right, so how do you participate? If you're watching and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I've never done it before. I mean, that's what I'm imagining that you're saying. You're like, this looks amazing. I can't wait. The good news is participating is very easy. You don't have to, jump through any hoops. It's free. It's a fun way to practice together. So first you're going to gather your supplies. If you are quilting along with me on the panel, go ahead and pre-order that. If you're not, get a quilt sandwich to work on, quilt top you might have laying around, or some fabric. Then when the videos start July 9th, every week after that, for 5 weeks, a video will come out, and that will cover the things we talked about. So you'll watch that on my YouTube channel. I'll send out an email like, hey, new video's out. And in the video, I'll say, hey, okay, now your challenge is to try these designs. So then you try quilting the designs, and then you can join my weekly live chat, which is on Thursdays at 3 p.m., which obviously you must know if you're watching here, and we'll kind of go over that week's video. I'll give tips that maybe didn't make it into the video, maybe talk a little bit longer about something that I couldn't fit in, and then of course, you can ask your questions live. Jessica's always here writing them down. I have to ice her hands down pretty good during the challenge because she has to write a bunch, but it's just a great way to, again, stay connected and make sure that you're successful with the designs. And then if you'd like, you can join our Free-motion Challenge Quilting Along Facebook group. So on the Facebook group, that's where you share pictures of what you're doing, you encourage other quilters, and have a good time with it. So that's kind of how that works. Sometimes people will be like, oh, I ordered the panel and I haven't got an email yet. It doesn't start till July 9th, and that's why. So just know it's not like, oh my gosh, I need to go do this thing so I can be part of it. Just going to the website or going to the YouTube channel to see my videos will do that for you. So that's a lot to talk about. And you think about all the work that took to get us to that point. But I do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. So let me click back to the camera here. Again, once that starts, that's when every week the live chat will be specific to that week's video. But in the meantime, I'll still be doing live chats. I'll still be doing all that other stuff. So definitely looking forward to that. I think the thing I would say, and when I type or chat with people before the videos, I know that it's scary to learn something new. I get it. Like, nobody likes to suck. It sucks to suck. But the truth of the matter is, if you want to improve on something, you have to practice. But practicing is just a lot more fun when you get to do it with other people. So hopefully you'll view this as a way to kind of push yourself, but also have fun quilting along with others and not feeling quite like you're so much on your own. So hopefully that all made sense. Let's see what kind of questions we have. Just a couple. Probably because everybody's just so busy running to the website, right? I'm fingers crossed the website can handle the traffic. If it's slow, just give it some time. I have a Moxie, which is a sit-down long arm. Or no, sorry, it's a stand-up long arm. It's a regular long arm, sorry. I have a Moxie. Is one panel, large or regular, better to use with my machine? Nope, either one's going to be fine. If you want to quilt a little bit bigger to do something with, then do that. If you're like, oh, I have a lot of quilts to do, I don't have a ton of time to devote to it, then the smaller one. What color would I use in the bobbin? So I like to use pre-wounds. And so since the pre-wound bobbins don't have all the same thread colors at the top, I usually pick a value or a neutral color in the value of the top. So a medium gray. A medium gray or medium tan is what I would suggest for that. But if you aren't using pre-wounds, then you can wind your bobbins with the color that you're using on top if you want. Does the swirl fabric have a continuous flow? Is it one of those training wheels? It is not. No, the swirl chain is it's not a complex design, but there's so many steps, it's really hard to follow on that. And maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to design it better, but no, it's just pretty. And we're talking about this one right here. Look at this purple, 2 purples, well, more of a pink. Yeah, it's not meant to quilt over. It's just inspired by the quilting. And we have a Facebook winner for the Fat Quarter Bundle, and that winner is Fuzzy Face Place Leah. Congratulations. Leave us a comment or email us with your address, and I'll get it mailed out to you. Look, there's more that fell off of there. So congratulations. I don't know if it's Lee or Leah. Sorry if I said it wrong. Congratulations, and hopefully you can make something fun with that. All right, everybody, listen, I appreciate your support, whether it's watching the videos, whether it's buying the product, whether it's watching live chats and giving a thumbs up and hitting like and sharing with your friends. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and appreciate that I get to do this. So looking forward to another great video series. And in the meantime, looking forward to some fun live chats. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope everybody stays safe, and I will see you next Thursday for the next live chat. Until then, everybody, happy quilting.